Alright, I'm deleting all the videos, or at least taking them off for a while. Everything that's on my page up until this point. I'm hoping that this video gets the most attention out of any of them so far. I'm feeling that I should edit this one. I'm going to edit this one. Today I'm just going to talk about life, and hopefully you relate to it, and maybe gain a new perspective or learn something or enjoy it. First thing I want to talk about is the feelings we get when we're thinking about people when we're alone. For as long as we can remember, they're based off of from what people give us. We remember just touches, but then it grows into more and more, not just, sensations, but patterns of emotions, the speed and the motion of what that person is saying, paired with those sensations. And as I think about this, it's almost like I'm being carried away. Like, I feel a little bit empty inside talking about it because I'm trying to feel myself out. You know what I mean? It's almost like every time I talk, I'm giving a little bit of myself away. But that's everyone. As you talk to people, they don't know what to do next. It's like they had a plan, but then it's gone. And some people are better at maintaining it than others. But there's a lot of people who fall just as far as their worst interpretation of themselves each time they go. At least that's what it seems like. Some people barricade themselves from people who are struggling so much that it's almost like two magnets when looking at it from a third person point of view. But also I want to talk about how it's the other person's responsibility as well, because you don't want to give them a reason to not be comfortable. It's tough though, because there's a lot of stigmas that kind of are in the air. Stigmas that don't really matter or mean anything except just this perception of social rank. I think when we call that fact to mind, the fact that we're losing our mind, not literally losing our mind, but we're losing a piece of ourselves and a part of peace. I think people are often overwhelmed by the silence of peace because it reminds them of the silence of their private life. And it's almost like all the progress that they've made in a relationship doesn't mean anything until they come back again. That's when it really solidifies in the hearts of whoever is struggling to bury themselves out of that, or it is what it seems like, out of that pit. I'm just saying, a lot of times I see people who are struggling and not struggling interact, and oftentimes I see like a dependence form from one to the other whenever someone's like really insecure. But it happens all the time too. Like it's almost like a volatile relationship, one that never really has peace, and it kills people. But I mean, people can do whatever they want. People can, you know, I mean, it's a difficult and very emotional subject to talk about, but people can handle their own lives. It's a very important one as well to understand and just think about when you're with people, you know. The faster we can pass off any fear, the better. And the more we can dwell on the good things, the better. But sometimes there's just nothing good in the relationship, and you really, all you have to do is just appreciate your own pace. Just take a sharp, deep breath and move on. But then when you're in conversation, you can kind of speed up and you know, talk faster than you breathe, or vice versa. You know, however the conversation goes, sometimes you want to slow down for bad things and jump in on funny things. But it's up to you to figure it out with the person that you're with. But it doesn't even have to be about me, just the little things, you know, like the feeling. One thing I noticed once I started having sex was that it almost seems like this world is ruled by sex. And that's not a bad thing, but it is a very volatile thing, is what I'm figuring out. And even just when I'm alone, I'm thinking, say I haven't seen someone in so long, I'm thinking just like this, just, you know, we always do weird shit when we're thinking alone. Whether it's, you know, it's mindless though, you play with your hair, you do whatever, but it's seemingly meaningless, except you're feeling out that relationship with the person. And when you think of feeling and relationships and thinking about someone when you're alone, that's pretty sexual, you know. Touch is, in itself, is sexual. And, you know, you may be saying, well, it's not completely ruled, you know, it hasn't completely taken over the world. You're right. And, you know, it never completely will. It is the most tactile. It wakes you up the hardest. And I can name a million reasons why. But this is just the fact that I'm trying to point out here. And it's the fact that I think more people than you think realize, people who are on death's door, especially when death has their own name. And it's scary because the people who are on death's door and death is their own name, you never see them, you never know what's going on. And it's kind of sad because, you know, they're out there, you know, they're wading out in the water, and you don't know if they're gonna get, you know, gone. So you kind of have to, you know, play it out. And I feel the presence of abandonment. That is a thing. Abandonment is a presence. As a positive thing. But it's really not positive at all. It's really not. Some people might think, well, I don't want them to know that I don't have anything else going on. I just don't want to talk to them as an excuse. And it's pretty dangerous because, you know, that really can send a very polarizing message to people who, you know, receive that kind of treatment, because if you know, you can't give them something to say this is why, you know, and it doesn't have to be complete abandonment, but people understand putting physical or entertainment or anything over someone. It's their life to enjoy. They're trying to get the most out of life, and for whatever reason, not insulting or not, but you're just not at the top of that list, and that's okay. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think in order to keep people together, we must find the value in everything we do each time we do it, and feel the value, the specific feeling. It's very small, but just that little smile you get when you want to go on your phone like and taking a shit, and you're just like, fuck yeah, I get to look at the entire world while I'm dropping a Duke. That is fucking awesome. Literally every single thing we do, I could be playing with this, whatever this is. It's a dried out scent-y thing, and I could just be, you know, just the perceptions of gravity alone, cherish that and sacrifice other people for that. Not literally, don't throw them in a fucking Mayan mosh pit where they get their heart torn out and they get fucking thrown in the sun or whatever they did back then. Just say to them, hey, listen, I'm gonna play with this right now. But you don't have to say that. You can just play with this and ignore it. I went deep on that one. I almost blacked out. Oh my gosh, I'm back. I need to end this video. And it's not bad or weird to think about other people's emotions. And it doesn't even have to be sexy. It's really good to do that, because you never know. And there's nothing bad about putting other things over other people's feelings. Enjoy it to the fullest. That's all I got for this one. I feel like I need a nap after that. My soul is being sucked out through this image on my iPhone.